All right, we are live.
Oh, Alfred's back. The universe is.
We have Alfred back. So we have a quorum at this point. We are still waiting on one other person expected to be here. But I do believe we can call the meeting to order.
Wait,
All right, so first item we have on the agenda is to ratify the August minutes.
Does anybody have any questions or comments on those? All in favor of ratifying?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
No.
All right, financial report.
Financial report. Currently, balance in the checking account is $2,388.06. Balance in the savings account is $1,970.52. August income was $1,451.83. Expenses for August were $978.81. Tithe out to the mother church was $72.59 less the $29 for the Linode that we pay for, making it $43.59. Tithe to the Choice Charity was $73. We round up because of they don't take change, so we round it up because it's charity and we want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. Megan, do you have what our Patreon is?
I'm grabbing my computer right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
oh, there's Ryan.
Yeah, we have a right.
Welcome, Ryan.
You're late.
And lashes.
Do we have any questions about the financial statement right now that I've presented?
Okay, Patreon. Let me refresh it. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. Hold on.
This was part of the reason why I can't do Zoom. I can't keep a freaking
Connection. Yeah.
the only place that I can do it. Also, Zoom still terrifies me.
Ooh.
Come on. It's loading.
Do we need the Jeopardy theme?
Do 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 dun 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 dun.
Loving the captions on that.
Do I have captions on?
You have
You
to
can turn
turn.
it
You can
on.
turn them on. They're auto generated, so they get interesting sometimes.
All right.
Yeah. Soiled socks.
Soiled socks.
I say move on, and once it's done, I'll loop back in.
That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Alrighty, so welcome Summerfest.
Welcome Summer Festival. I have income and what it cost us this year to do this event, so we can get a final tally on that. We had income of $780. This includes vendor fees and what we also made off the raffle. We had cost of $362.13. This cost was $50 to Lady Kate and Bob Tenney, $200 for the park rental, and because of the issues with the concession stand, food of $112.13 that was purchased at Meyer. So our total income for Welcome Summer Festival this last year was $417.87. We turned a profit off from this festival. It didn't cost us money this year to put it on. So that's an amazing feat. I will let co-chair Norton talk about what's going on for next year.
So we need to have our next meeting. I was waiting until we came back from the cruise, just because trying to squeeze it in with everything that was going on with the cruise was getting a little crazy. So we should be planning on meeting. I'm hoping by the end of the month, in the next couple weeks. But I'll try and figure out a time that works for everyone. I'm not going to take board time to figure that out. But we had some homework that we were left with about kind of where we see this going in the next 5 to 10 years. So we will be getting together to align on our trajectory and then to see what we can do this year. We do have our headliner already procured. And I believe we've got a decent number of vendors procured as well.
Yes, we do have, I will speak on that. I do have vendors lined up from this last year. Also, do we have copies of the form? Because Elle and I are actually going to Pagan Pride Day in Grand Rapids this weekend. I was going to take some of our forms. I think I have a copy of it in the drive. So
It should be in the drive.
all right, so we can see if we can get some more vendors from the others of the state to come join our little party for the day. Because I think that would be good. It helps bridge that community and build that community even stronger. And I want to see this. That's what we're trying to do here. That's the whole point of this festival. It's not about making money. It's about building our community stronger. Also, well, we were up to Wolf Run last month. Solenox and I and Mandy and Ryan got to meet a food truck vendor that is actually Pagan owned. And they are willing to come hang out with us that day. It's hot
Nice.
dogs and things like that. It's convenience food. It's not. It'll be something that will help supplement so that we have food there. I'm going to reach out to them this week and get that secured. It will not cost us anything for them to come. They come for free. They just keep their profits, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Their profits are their profits, and it gives us a way to help us grow. Also, this week I will be filling out the paperwork to officially secure the park. We're on paper to have the park. It's in the calendar. I just have to fill out the forms and get those sent in. And I will work with you on that this week, Megan, so that you know what we're doing, so you can see how that's done, okay? So that's where Welcome Summer Festival sets.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for the Summerfest committee?
I actually, it's kind of a comment slash, I just thought on our costs. The food cost wasn't actually, for us to just provide some food, wasn't actually as much as I think it was anticipated it would cost. I like the idea that if we have a food truck, even still having like some food available for people. I think we kind of talked about that a little bit at the end of that. So that because we can't count on concessions, obviously.
We could talk about that in committee. We could talk about getting some like prepackaged stuff that I don't want to compete with the food truck.
No, it's more of just like to have.
In case
my
it's
thought was
needed.
to have for people to have in case they either can't afford the food truck or whatever reasoning. This just as an option.
Yeah, we can talk about that in committee. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was one of the things we're gonna try and do better this year is to have contingency plans and maybe even contingency plans to our contingency plans.
Thank you, Megan. Also with that being said, the current committee right now sets myself, Megan, Ella, Heather, and Mandy. Is there anybody that's new on the board that would like to sit on this committee to help plan what we are doing? I want to open that up. It's a once a month meeting, usually before or after the board meeting, so that the next board meeting we can report on what we're doing. It's a way for you to help grow and see what we're doing with our festival that we are putting on. No pressure. If you want to join, great. If you don't, we understand if you got other things that take time.
You can also think about it and get back, obviously.
I am interested, but with the coming of a new baby, I will have time and energy and mentality spell elsewhere for right now.
And that's
But-
fine.
Yep.
But I am interested.
Well, and also that event needs all of us on deck that day. We've got a lot of moving parts and we all need to be there so that we can do things. I can't see the chat. What popped up on the chat so that I know?
Foxfire made a
Megan-
comment. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, Megan said the thing is the Patreon's loaded now, and Foxfire was talking about the snacks and refreshments tent at Lansing Pride with granola bars, water, and I think that's a reasonable thing. We could have granola bars, apples, water, basics that we could hand out for free or for donations, if somebody can't do the food truck.
Right. I agree with that. Like I said, we can talk about,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that in committee and bring it back to the board and let's see what the board says. We won't take board time to do that. That's all I have for the Welcome Summer Festival. So Megan, you got your stuff for your Patreon?
Yes. So membership is currently at $1,070 a month if I'm doing the decimal correctly. And we are holding on to our 27 paid members. We do have 46 total. That includes our non-paying members as well. Which I think is where we've been. We've been getting a kind of some steady engagement. Oh, it looks like we gained a member or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw a couple come in right before we left.
Yeah. Oh, I've been seeing a little bit more engagement coming through on our impressions. And every once in a while we'll get some comments and some likes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Alrighty. Oh, shoot. So the next item we have on the list I've got is the security report. We
Well,
don't have anything, but I'm just there. I've
Yeah,
been throwing it up there every time now, so.
right. We had a meeting since the last Sabat, so we're good there. I don't think there's been any issues, or at least nothing I recall or heard about. We have started doing the table topping the items in our EOP. We didn't do it at the last meeting because it was a unique meeting, but we probably should be picking it up in our next Coven meeting, which gives everybody a chance to walk through, troubleshoot, and kind of get some training on the issue at the same time. And that's all I have, unless there's questions for me.
All right.
Alrighty, so. There was some, all right, so if that's everything on those, there was one I threw up there, because we've talked about it recently about doing like a one of us type fun campaign thing. And one of the things we talked about was potential domain names. So Castle wanted me to suggest, had suggested that I bring that to the board. Some options we had for doing that. Do we want to talk about the One of Us thing before we go into that part of it? Or do we want to, what do you want to do with that, Solonix?
Is that something that we want to go over tonight?
Well, it would give context to the why we're talking about domains.
So this was something that I threw out before we left on the trip, and that was to come up with some kind of a story that we can use for marketing both church and store. And One of Us was one of the ideas, basically playing on all of the fun aspects of a cult and making fun of them at the same time. So we were talking about Ryan's asking, does interaction on the Patreon help us get more attention? I'm not sure of the answer to that. I don't know if there are any metrics that affects as far as like getting us in front of new people or something. Um, but we were thinking about being able to do little bumper stickers or business cards that you could hand out with, we know where to find da 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 da, da, like it's a secret, but it's not really a secret.
I had an idea for a domain name, but it takes it in a little bit different direction than where everybody's heading with it.
What's
Um,
that?
like one witchy thing. And the idea is to put up something every month, some simple little thing that gets people doing something witchy.
Ooh.
I-
I like that actually.
I like that too, Alfred. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course it can evolve. So, I mean, pretty soon, if you do it for a year, you've done 12 witchy things, right? So,
The next year you double it, do 24.
yeah. And
So-
onewitchything.com is supposedly available right now for a penny on GoDaddy.
Well,
Is it
Well,
one of those a penny, but you have to do it for 3 years kind of thing?
Penny first year with 3-year term.
It was onewitchything.com. I actually really like that.
I do. I agree too.
Okay, I kind of got lost with the whole domain thing. It made me think website. So that's what we're talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Is
yes.
So
okay.
So as part of this, we were talking about possibly doing something where we had like a website domain, like oneofus.com, only that's taken, to like redirect people to like to play on this whole thing. And so I was looking at a bunch of different ones and seeing costs, and a lot of these, unfortunately, like they right now are like really cheap for the first year, and then they're like $40 a year after that, which is stupid. But
You
whatever.
just change to a different registrar.
We could, yeah.
At that
One of the
point.
ones, so a few of them that I found on GoDaddy that are available, was like oneofus.shop, oneofus.world, oneofus.foundation, oneofus.site, oneofusall.com, oneofus.blog, oneofus.net, or I'm sorry, beoneofus.net or beoneofus.club.
So what kind of cost are we looking at for all of those, Ella?
Each of these are anywhere between, all right, so like $1.49, $2.99, $5.99, or like 99 cents. And like with all the 99 cents or I'm sorry, yes, 99 cents, $3.99, and then it's $4.99. So like less than $10 each, right? For the year, for just a single year. And we could play on it for a year and decide what we want to do later. There's a couple that are the 1 cent. Like beoneofus.net is 1 cent for the first year, but then you have to do a 3-year term at normally $25 a year, which really isn't expensive. And this would probably end up being a redirect to one of the websites or something like that. In reality, you just be able to have something to hand people, go to beoneofus.com or .net or whatever. And so it's cheap. It's less than $10. It's just a it's just they're the kind of thing that they cost more after a year, basically. So, and then we could assess it after a year and see if we want to do anything with it.
Mandy?
I like the idea of the .club because that plays onto the one of us thing.
That was one of my favorites, I'm not gonna lie.
I think the .club plays into
So
And
Ryan's
go ahead.
Ryan's been posting a number of things in the chat here. Make a spell jar at Keys to Manifestation. Attend a discussion at Weavers of the Web. Get a tarot reading from Aaron at Keys to Manifestation. Where are you going with this, Ryan?
That's the one witchy thing.
Oh, okay.
Do one witchy thing a month, and we can connect it to Weavers. We can connect it to Keys. We can throw it in as it like flows through both.
Mandy says witchy bingo.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it could
have
be a
all of those be a bingo square.
Yeah, and it could be called the One Witchy Thing Bingo at oneofus.club.
And you get a prize at the end. You get a prize
Yes.
at the end. After like you do like 10 or like 12 months worth in a row or however many in a row, and then you get something out of it. I like these ideas.
I mean, since some of them do bring in money to the store, or the church, having a prize at the end might make sense. If you fill your bingo card, you get a prize.
So I hear lots of good ideas coming through here. I think before we spend money on a domain, we need one or more people to step up and commit to spending a certain number of hours per week on this project to keep it active. Foxfire says we could have Vivian make a video where someone is finding their path and is led by clues from Goddess and they all say one of us. Having that reassurance that the seeker belongs here with us. I like that.
I really like that, Foxfire. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I like a promo video.
What if instead of having a domain, it brought us to a domain that we already have and just a little link within it?
That would just be, that's kind of what we were talking about, I think. Instead of having like a whole fresh website, it would be a redirect. So you have to own the domain to be able to do the redirects. We'd have to pay for it still. And then it would just redirect to a website we already have.
Well, I mean, if it was part of a website that we currently had.
Right.
Even
So
though we
yeah,
cut
making
one
a
of
new
us-
page on the website. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weavers
If
of the Web / one of us.
And we could do that. But I think that if I remember correctly, the concept of the one of us thing was playing on that particular terminology. And if we could hand somebody a card and say, go to one of us and be oneofus.club, they're gonna, that's more memorable than manifest or than Keys to Manifestation or weaversoftheweb.org / one of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Castle's got his hand up.
Part of this was the point to play on that the call little C, not big C aspect and have fun with it and do the redirects so that we don't, because if you do that catchy, the club one or whatever, it makes it where it's fun and it pulls them back into the things we do here at the store and we do here at the church. It's important that we're trying to feed that ego and try to feed the ego of the church and feed the ego of the store so that we can build more business and build more foot traffic in here and get things moving and keep that energy spinning DSL.
Again, lots of great ideas, but what I think we need is somebody to commit to spending time on this before we commit to spending money.
Yeah, I agree.
Read that statement. Yeah.
So in the absence of that, I think we're going to need to table it. Ryan?
I was just thinking there are things we can do for free. That like have a one of us club, one of those scan codes that we could all carry on our phones. Hey,
QR code, right?
And we could send them out to people, post them on things. Hey, are you one of us? Send the QR code. And that
So
would
do it.
and that would be free.
So do it. Go
And
for it.
and then the one of us dot shop or one of us shop, a different QR code that sends to Keys. One of us club sends it to Weavers. One of us
So are
shop.
you volunteering?
I think he's volunteering to take on this project, is what
That's
I'm
what
hearing. So
That's
Solon.
what it sounds like to me.
I need to find out how to do QR codes, but that could be fun.
Oh,
it's
it's easy.
easy.
It's pretty easy.
I'm
Yeah.
just thinking that Solonox made a good point that we shouldn't be spending money on it before we're seeing results from it. So if we do a free thing that starts the ball rolling.
That's not what Solonox was saying. Solonox was saying we have to have someone to commit to do the work so that this can be a valuable source. Don't spend money without having a plan in place before we do this, is what Solonox was saying.
And
We have not had somebody in charge of marketing for several years now. It's a job that is open and desperately needed. All the ideas in the world won't get us anywhere without implementation, and right now we are lacking implementation on a number of things that we've promised. So adding more isn't gonna get us anywhere until we have more time, more hours to give to it.
So are we saying there's no one here who does the marketing then, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, Solonox is
that's it.
If we can have a conversation about what it would take to hand that over a little bit, like, I mean, I'm home all day with my kiddo, so I have time in between whatever else I'm doing. If it's not that stuff or seminary, you know, I would be willing to take a crack at it.
And I could work with Foxfire as part of a collaborative effort.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it.
So yeah, marketing. I've done the marketing. I had to step back from it because it was huge and it was tough. But it's a big job. So that would be good if you could, if you're home and you're able to do it. That'd be good.
And
I
have
mean,
the two of you work on it together wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Share the workload.
Yeah.
And I've already started making marketing videos that mention keys to manifestation. So I think I would have fun with that.
So then why don't you two get together and put together a marketing campaign that is free and implement it, and let's see what happens and go from there. Okay?
Yes.
Sounds great.
We'll talk more on Wednesday and make sure that you both have the access that you need. All right? Cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right. What's next?
That's all I had in the lists. So,
Does anybody else have anything to add to the list?
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the couple suggestions we got after the ritual on Wednesday. One person had asked for more practical magic-y witchy things, and it was also brought up that instead of following the weaving the web constantly, maybe once a month doing a open table type, I forget the words now.
an Ask the Witch session?
Yeah, kind of.
Was it having different people come in and
That
share
was
their traditions?
that was
So-
part of it, but it was also I can't, the word has completely freaking flown out of my brain. Basically,
So-
like 1 week a month, have something that's less structured for a discussion topic.
Not strictly Weavers might have been part of it, I think, too.
So some of that sounds similar to some things that we've kind of had brewing in the background that we've been talking about.
So I know,
Um,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I know that in particular the one about the less structure, a conversation happened after church, and it was with somebody who had talked about doing something similar with their own practices, where they had regular meetings and they would have people from other faiths come in and talk, people from other practices come in and talk, and do so. So I think that was the core of that conversation. And I think it was the other part of it was basically just change it up a bit. Because people who've been here for a minute now, people who've been here been coming for a little bit, it's the same topics, right, every year. So it's that being said, they don't always, see the ones that we miss because of a ritual or this or that, but they want to just see more diverse, because we're talking about diversities. They want to see more diverse opportunities for other things to go on during our Wednesday night services.
Okay. Well, if somebody has a suggestion for essentially a different liturgical calendar, or wants to plan events, again, step up and let me know, and we can do that. But again, that's going to require somebody putting some hours into it to create something new. Megan?
I can't figure out how to raise my hand on here.
Ah.
So it's just something that Ella was saying. I have a rebuttal to, but at the same time, this is with the caveat of, we're here to serve the people, and if we're not serving the people by doing the weaving of the web, then, the people speak, we respond. But to Ella's point of, well, people who have been doing this, years and years, it's the same topics. My rebuttal to that is Mabon is the same Mabon, Lammas is the same Lammas, but we still get new mysteries every time we do it. So yes, I understand that it's the same topic, but maybe this time you challenge yourself to speak more and give your perspective instead of just sitting back and listening.
Spiral Path, which
Mhm.
is the subject of this week's
Yes.
discussion. So maybe we can make sure to hit on that. Who's doing the discussion lead this week?
I think you are.
You
if I
are.
remember correctly.
Did
I am?
No, I am.
Oh, Megan.
Megan is.
Okay, so
There
Solomon's
you go.
doing,
So work it in.
I think Solomon's is doing the other one then. Okay.
The Devo.
I had it backwards.
So we could definitely work that into the discussion this week. How timely.
We did have one person online who also said that they didn't feel that it was appropriate to curse in ritual with gods. But my response to that
That's
was,
an opinion.
yeah,
That's an
my
opinion.
response to that was maybe Weavers isn't for everybody, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep. It's an opinion. So yeah. Good feedback. Any other questions along those lines? Comments, thoughts? Castle? Was that a hand up? Or?
I got a question about t-shirt inventory that we have here at the store that we've purchased for the church. We've got the white t-shirts, the black t-shirts, and we've got the So Montet shirts. How long, we've been sitting on some of those for quite a few years, have we not?
So the first round was purchased in 2021, and I think the second round, the Somota shirts we bought in 2022.
Okay, so they're 3 and 4 years old. how do we not remember how much the markup, how much we marked those up or anything like that, Solanox, when we did that, when you did those, or
I want to say we at least doubled cost
okay.
when we marked them up.
Where are you going with this, Castle? I think I know where you're going with this, but I'm curious.
We've sat on them and sat on them and sat on them. They're not moving. I think we should do a little bit of a sale on them, see if we can move some of these things. I'm doing it with the pantry shirts right now. Next month I'm doing it with the pantry bags. I think it would be a way to help generate a little more funds, get some help, maybe get some people in the store. And
So I have an idea on that. Since you brought it up, one of the things because I thought this is where you're going, and I was wondering. So as you pointed out, they've been sitting for a while. One of the things that we have a lot of fun with is when we wear the same Weaver shirts, and that's one of those part of the club type things, right? We wear the shirts. We have these certain shirts, and every one of us has at least one or two of those different types of shirts. What if we did, for at least a few of them, some giveaways to church members that are not one of us, they're not part of our inner circle, to try to encourage more people to still want to start wearing those kinds of things to church or related to church things.
Could
I mean,
be
we
also.
could put them into the raffle drawings
We could.
too.
That was going to be my next question.
that's an idea too. I like that. We're going to Pagan Pride Day. We could take them with us too, Solanox, if you wanted us to see if we can try to sell some over on the other side of the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're already taking pin shirts.
Yeah, I'm taking pin shirts. We
Pin and
might,
Weaver shirts.
yep, why not? We'll talk later this week about that then.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. We could look at giving some away, or whatnot. Usually the point of having a sale is to make room for fresh inventory.
Right.
Are we planning to buy more shirts?
I don't know. I don't think so because once everybody gets theirs, they kind of don't move.
I love
Um,
it. It's a dinosaur.
Oh, you just saw the QR code. Yeah.
Maybe some of the Weavers merch and the pin merch could be part of Ryan and my marketing, one of our projects that we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a great idea, guys, because I would love to, because let's face it, when I sell the t-shirts to the store gets a cut of it, and Weavers gets a cut of it eventually too. It helps everybody out. So we'll talk about that because we got to watch those lines. So
No. What about some things like that? Like now, like I'm gonna go geeky a little bit if y'all can, mind me for a second. When I go to like concerts, merch is like the first thing I go to look at. And I want to see like what like the artists have that's new. Like, oh, I've seen that shirt a million times. What do we think about maybe some newer designs coming into the store? Maybe something with like sigils on it, or runes like Futhark.
Right now, I might be willing to do something like that if we got it on a pre-order thing. If you could pre-sell them, I would get behind that. Otherwise, probably not. But we could make it exclusive, limited
Limited.
run,
Yes.
get it now or never. Yeah.
Yes.
So
and I'm sure we
again,
could talk to our printer. We've got alt printing, and then we've got the printer that we've been doing all our paper stuff through. They do close too.
Be part of the club. There's only 50 of these available.
One of us.
I mean, we can talk about that. We can think about it. Come up with an idea plan. Let us bring it to the next
Yeah.
board meeting. Let us see it.
get it ready to implement. Do the legwork. Make it happen.
I can Foxfire and Ryan, I have contact information for alt printing, and I think Solnox has got the contact information for paper image. You can say, this is what I'm looking to do. I want X amount of shirts. What kind of cost are we looking at? So that we can make sure that we're making sure it's affordable.
And
Wondering-
Alt's right there in Rio Town. So
Yep, alt's right
Mhm.
there in Rio Town. They're great people. They're
all
amazing.
the- yeah.
I'm wondering, can you make t-shirt designs like that in somewhere like Canva, like make a design?
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
that's how I made our Coven shirt.
well, there
It
we
was
go.
in Canva.
So yeah, make something in Canva, the design or
All,
something.
this is all stuff that can be done. So, like I said, if you got an idea, do the legwork, make it happen. If money is needed, then we come to a board vote. If you want approval of materials, if you're doing something that you think might be a little edgy and you want approval, then you come to me or Ella. But make it happen. All right, Ryan?
I know we don't like crossing lines so much. But if a church has a bunch of t-shirts that they're selling with the church's name on it, they normally mention it in church.
Yeah, we could absolutely be doing that.
And if it is Weavers of the Web apparel,
Then they already know it exists.
we need to be mentioning it in Weavers. Remind them that it exists, though.
Well, it's
Like-
got me thinking, where are those shirts in the store? Are they
On the
On a
hanging-
rack.
on a
There's
rack?
some on the hanging rack and the ones that don't fit on the rack are folded on the shelf, but there's at least one of every option hanging up on the rack in the store.
Just
They're
not one of
beautiful.
every size.
We don't
We
have one of
don't
every
have-
size in stock.
This is stuff that can be talked outside of them.
My thought was, would we have other stock we can maybe hang up in the church, just in spots where people would see them?
Go for it.
Okay, I'll do that Wednesday. I'll find somewhere to put some stuff.
Any other questions on the marketing? Speaking of marketing, what is the latest from Convocation on our sponsorship and suite?
Have not heard anything. I've still got Radio Sense because they are still. I will poke it, Barb. In fact, I'll do it right now so I don't forget.
All right. Would like to get that squared away.
Yes, understand. I understand they have a busy life, but we also have things going on too. So
Did anybody get a chance to look into possible alternative winter Sabbath ritual venues? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
And everybody remembers that we're getting pictures done next Saturday?
Yes.
yep.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Does Talon know about
When
that?
you said,
Talon knows. Talon's getting a haircut tomorrow because of it.
when you said next Saturday, my first thought was this Saturday. Like, no, wait, no, not this Saturday. But yeah.
No, you get birthday pictures.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions, issues? Oh, did anybody make any progress on our operating checklists, operating procedures for jobs?
Nope.
No.
I labeled.
All right.
I labeled things. No, not really.
Well,
Nothing.
I have a rough draft for the tech witch for the Wednesday meeting in there.
oh, good, good. Where is that? Where did you put that? Sorry.
It
Is
should
it
be,
there?
what is it? Threads of wisdom or weaving
Oh, that's right. We talked about putting it in there. Okay. There it is. Yay! All right.
Poked.
So then, oh, for Barb,
Yep.
thank you. So then we should definitely give that checklist a test run, maybe this week. Have somebody do it that hasn't been and use the list and make sure it works.
Sounds good.
All right. Anybody else have anything else you need to discuss or look at tonight?
I don't think so.
All right. Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, hey, Solonox.
Hang on, let me stop the recording and